Hi, my name is Paula Rondon, and my project was on the effect of the amount of light received on the bioluminescence of algae. To start off, I want to talk about circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythm in psychology is our rest cycle. So when the sun is up, we are awake. When the sun goes down, we take our time to sleep. This project basically disrupts the circadian rhythm of these algae. To start off, before I began my experiment, I had 3 containers, each labeled, one dark, one light, and one dark and light. And then I had 6 tubes. 2 of the tubes were put in the dark light container, 2 of the tubes were put in the light container, and 2 of the tubes were put in the dark container. The dark container and the dark and light container both had lids. So I had to wrap up the dark tubes in aluminum foil to make it completely dark. No light was able to reach into them. And then the light container with the tubes had no lid, had no aluminum foil, just complete light all the time. And then the dark and light container had light at a few hours, light during the day, and then we're completely wrapped in aluminum foil and with the lid on at night. So every morning at 6 a.m. I would take each container into a separate dark room, avoiding any exposure to light, and I would test the level of light that they emitted. The way that I tested the light was on a scale of 1 to 4, 4 being the brightest and 1 being the dimmest, or no light at all. I would loosen the caps and I would turn the tubes upside down just to add just a little bit of stress to the algae so that they can glow. After I see that, I tighten the tubes back and I put them back into their spot in the container, and I take them back into the other room with the other containers, and those containers are all under a a fluorescent light, each in the same area, same temperature. There was no extra light there was no extra light on these containers. The dark group was a little bit special. I had to take the container with the lid into a separate room, and I had to unwrap the foil every single time, and then I had to rewrap it every single time. I tested this at 6 a.m., 12 p.m., 6 p.m., and 12 a.m. The light and dark group, the light/dark group was a little bit special as well, because in the morning I would have to unwrap it from its aluminum foil and then leave it unwrapped after I test its light level, and then I would put it back in the container and take it to the room with the fluorescent lamp and leave it there during the day without wrapping it. And then at 6 p.m. at night, when I would take the container back into the separate room and test its level of light, I had to rewrap it in aluminum foil and put the lid back on. My conclusion was that my light and dark group, light/dark group, was the one that held out the longest, with only 3 days left in my experiment. I did this experiment for 3 weeks because in my research I found that bioluminescent algae only lasts 2 to 4 weeks. My dark group was the one that did not make it at all. It lasted barely a week, maybe just 10 days, and it had no light after that, no re-glow, nothing. My light group was the one that made it to about a week before I had finished my experiment. So my findings were that if we disrupt the circadian rhythm, these algae will suffer, and it's important to know that if we disrupt our own circadian rhythms, a lot of other things can kind of be messed up. Thank you for taking your time, and that's it.